All right, hi guys. I'm here in the classroom. You actually get to see me for once. And it is not March 13th, but that was the date that we were last here, and so I'm just kind of keeping it on the board. All right, we're going to talk about two things today. We're going to talk about prefixes and suffixes. And first we're going to talk about prefixes because it makes sense to talk about those since they mean before, right? So these are things that come before a base word that change its meaning, okay? So the two that we're going to talk about today are un and re. So what these actually mean, un kind of means not, and re means again. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that's going to look like. So first let's get some words. How about friendly? If somebody is friendly, it means that they're pleasant to talk to, they're approachable, maybe they smile. Okay, so let's write the word friendly. And don't worry, I'll move out of the way. Friendly. Okay, so here's our word friendly. Now, if I put this prefix un in front of the word friendly, it's going to change the meaning. So let's do that. Now it's unfriendly. If somebody is unfriendly, it means they are not friendly. If I want to undo my shoelaces, that means I'm not going to tie them, right? I'm undoing the knot. I'm taking it apart. If I unpack, if I unpack my backpack, I'm not putting things in, I'm not packing it, I'm doing the opposite. I'm unpacking, I'm taking things out. Okay, now let's talk about re. Fill. Will you fill this cup with water? Right? You fill it up, I drink it, and then if I want to ask for it to be done again, I would say, can you refill this for me? Refill. Refill. If somebody was sick and they got better, so they were fine, they got sick, and then they got better again, we would say, oh, I'm so glad that, hang on, I'm going to rewind that. I can't wait for you to recover from being sick. Recover. Recover, right? To recover from being sick means to get back to being well again. Okay. If, and I already said this in the other video, if you had a really messy paper and I said, oh my goodness, I can't even read that, you need to redo it. You need to redo it, right? It means to do it again. Okay? So these are the prefixes that we have, and there's a practice page about these. And we're also going to talk about suffixes. Okay? So I'm going to come on over here, and I'm going to pick us up, and I'm going to move us over here to this side of the board. So much easier to do this in a classroom. Okay, so we have three suffixes that we're going to be talking about today, and these are a little bit more complicated. So the key difference is that a prefix comes at the beginning and a suffix comes at the end. So say that to yourself once out loud. A prefix comes at the beginning and a suffix comes at the end, okay? So most of the time, because remember English is a little bit of a crazy language sometimes, we've got these three categories. So we have full, that we can put at the end, and literally that means full of. We have Y at the end, and that is, it's a little complicated to explain. It's characterized by, and I'll give you some examples, don't worry. Characterized. I didn't leave myself enough room. By. Characterized by. And then all the way over here on the end, we have ly. And this, when you add it onto the end, changes the word to talk about how something is done or how often it's done. Okay, so let's get into some examples because this is kind of confusing, right? This is sort of confusing stuff. It makes more sense when you see it in a story or in a book. It's a little bit complicated to just sort of talk about without an example, okay? All right, so I'm gonna write 2 words over here that go with this suffix. Okay. Careful. Careful means full of care, right? You're full, if you're walking in a way that is careful, you are full of care. Ooh, ouch. That bee sting was painful. Painful, full of pain. Bee stings hurt. Have you ever had a bee sting? I've had a bee sting and they don't feel good. Okay, I'm gonna come all the way over here to the other side. I'm gonna check one thing. I'm coming back over here. I wanna see if people can see me easily, and you can't. I'm gonna scoot this back. There we go. Normally, if we were in the classroom, I'm sure one of you would have said, Mrs. Blake, I can't see. But since you're not here, I have to check these things. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here to the how or how often, all right? She walked quickly. She walked quickly away from the building, right? It's telling me how the girl walked away from the building. She walked quickly away from the building. He has soccer practice weekly, which means every week. Now I could say he has soccer practice every week, or I could choose to add on this suffix and I could say he has soccer practice weekly, which tells me how often he has soccer practice. Okay, my last one, which is a little bit confusing, right? This characterized by. If I'm eating a peach and it's like juice is running all over my hands and it's just a total mess and I have to wash my hands, I would say that that peach is juicy. Juicy. So I'm going to add that Y onto the end of it. Juicy. 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 At Halloween, you might go to a haunted house that is creep or creepy. Creepy, right? Creepy. Characterized by being creepy, right? Like being scary. The haunted house is creepy. This is describing what the haunted house is like, okay? All right, you guys. So you have, I'm gonna move back over here where you can see me. You have 2 pages to do that are practice for prefixes and suffixes. I would recommend doing those right away so that this is fresh in your brain. If you don't have time to do it right now, maybe watch the video again later and then do the pages right after that, okay? All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Bye.